Good morning to you all. I am very glad for the opportunity given to me to present my talk on eco-cultural heritage of Goa. My first slide clearly tells you how Goan people, since time immemorial, they were associated with the nature and worshipping Ganpati. Ganpati today is considered as a god, but once upon this elephant-headed entity was considered as a god because the Emil Durkheim, the well-known sociologist, tells us that the religion originated through surprise, fear, and whatever seen by human being, the natural phenomena were responsible for giving birth to the religion. And during olden time, the elephants were creating problem for human being. They were destroying, and the same situation you can see even today. In Dandeli, for example, the West Coast paper mill felled bamboo, and the bamboo actually is a food and fodder for the elephants. And as there is no food and fodder available in Dandeli, the elephant left Dandeli in 2001, 36 elephants, and almost 2 dozen of elephants died in the struggle, and 1 dozen of human beings were killed by the grass-eating animal. So this was realized by our forefather, and that is why they thought that by worshipping elephant-headed god, they can get rid of the trouble of the elephant. So worshipping of elephant-headed god is a tradition in Goa, and you know that Goa is a small state of India's union, situated in between west coast of India and Western Ghat. So this is the way by which people worship Ganpati, but today the tradition is totally changed, and we opted for plaster of Paris. You know, the plaster of Paris create lot of problem. So that is why we have to find out worshipping god or goddesses through the form of nature. There is one place called Pansaimol. Pansaimol is in the Sange Taluka, in a village, Panchayat Rivan. Dhandole is there. So in Dhandole, if you go and see on the laterite bed, you will find more than 100 rock carvings. So most of these rock carvings are related with the flora and fauna of the area. And there is a tradition wherein you will find the prehistoric man use the pictures of different animals to be carved on the laterite. So there are elephants, there are bison, there are deers, and here you can see the peacock. Peacock actually is the national bird of India. And in Goa we have folk dances. Many times whatever folk dances presented are not related with the soil or with the tradition. But once upon a time, the Christian community and the Hindu community living in Goa, they perform a typical folk dance called Morulo. Morulo means peacock dance. So in Sarvan village, there is a tradition of performing the dance of the peacock, because during olden time, peacocks were destroying the crops. And that is why people, through the folk song, make the attempt to drive them. So if you go there during the Shigmo festival, you can see the panoramic folk dance of the Morulo. But in Dhandole, in Pansaimol, you will find on the laterite rock, the carving of the peacock is there. So peacock tells us about so many things. It is this carving actually almost 10,000 year old carving. And it is on the bank of the river Kushavati. Now here you can see the cuples. Cuples mean the cup marks. And then in Goa we have a lot of debate on the bullfight. But during the prehistoric time, the man was very much familiar with the bullfight. My third slides gives you idea about the bullfight that has been depicted on the rock. And then the fourth slides tells you about the zebu. So zebu means the wild bull. Afterward, human being domesticated, and you know that bulls were used for agriculture purpose. But in my area there is one village called Man, located on the border of Goa, Maharashtra and Karnataka. If you go there, even today you will find a prehistoric tradition wherein the digging stick has been used by women even today for doing agriculture. So no use of the bull, no use of the tractor is done, but women take the digging sticks and then they plow it. So this tradition still prevail in this area, but the bull, you know, brought a lot of transformation, because pulling of the bull, pulling of the plow was done by the bull. So here you get the idea about the Neolithic culture. So when human beings were using the pointed stone tools and implement, they carved this bull. Then downward is a deer and trident is there. So this is the later period depiction. So it also has a relationship with the prehistoric man. So when, you know, use of iron was not popular during that time, these carvings were done by the prehistoric man living in the valley of Mandavi, the Mahadai river or the Dudhsagar valley, and in Sattari Taluka. Next. While going to Dudhsagar, there is a village called Shigaon. So in Shigaon, there is a sugarcane plantation, and inside the sugarcane plantation on the bank of the river, you will find the sacred grove. So what is sacred grove? Sacred grove is a forest protected in honor of the folk deity. So here you will find the sacred groves having, you know, different types of the floral wealth of the land. Whatever you cannot see in other forested area, you can see this wealth inside the protected areas of the sacred grove. So in sacred groves you also can see the tradition of worshipping the deity. This is the monsoon goddess, Gajalakshmi, what you call. In that area people call it as a Rangai Devi. So that is why Ranga, the color, is used to worship her. And then 12 stones are there. 12 stones are called as a Barazon. So in the olden days, 12 people, the 12 artisans like potter, then the ironsmith, then the coppersmith, they were involved in helping the villagers. So in their memory, the human being established the memorial. So these are the memorial, 12 stone. And also while going to Karwar in Cancun, one can see load rest. You know, during olden time there was no vehicle used by the human being, so they were carrying the load on the shoulder, on the back side, and when it became heavy, they could not get the help of the human being. So they were putting their load on such type of the stones. So such type of the stones you can see in Cancun and many part of the Goa. Some of load rest are today no more, but this tradition is there in Goa since last more than 1000 years. So during the Kadamba period, this tradition might be established in our land. Next. In Goa, we have tradition of worshipping the ant hill. You know, the ant hill is the clay, and we have Sant Kabirdas who said, "Mati kahe kumar se, tu kyo ronde mohe, ek din aisa avega, main rondungi tuhe." Finally, you know, you belong to any cult or any religion. You may be buried or burned, but finally we become one with the soil. So worshipping soil is the tradition in India. And why people, you know, worshipped ant hill? Ant hill is the indicator of the water. Wherever water is there, you will find ant hill is there. Go to Dandeli or in any part of the Western Ghat in Goa, wherever ant hills are there, and if you make attempt to dig there, you will get the water source. So in the name of worshipping ant hill, people protected the water sources. So in Goa, we have the tradition of worshipping Satir or Shantadurga. So Satir means the ant hill having the 7 compartment. So if you break the ant hill, you will find a 7 compartment inside it. In Kauve, for example, this year it is completing 400 years of worshipping goddess Shantadurga. In Kauve, on the occasion of Diwali, if you go Narak Chaturdashi, early in the morning, you will find for few hours the worship of Shantadurga, and 5 different form of Shantadurga, all golden idols are worshipped there. And once in a year, people gather in a large number to witness this beautiful scene. So the goddess Shantadurga or goddess Satir, nothing but worship of the Mother Earth. But today, human being started worshipping the clay idol, started worshipping the stone idol, and then shifted to the gold. So this indicates the prosperity and a lot of transformation which have been taken place. Next. In Goa, you know, different religion played very significant role. In 1913, the Father Heras discovered the idol of Lord Buddha in Kolwal village of Bardes Taluka. Dr. Gritali Mittal Wallner, the German scholar who was there in 1970 in Bicholim, she came across with the caves which was earlier brought into light by Shane Goebab, the well-known literary figure in Konkani and considered as the father of the Konkani language. So he discovered these caves and written a small article on it. So this brought the Gritali Mittal Wallner to this place, and when she came, she made the comparative study, and after comparative study she came to the conclusion that these typical caves, you know, the ferrous element, the iron elements are there, and this is inside the one of the iron ore mine in Lamgaon. So Lamgaon, Lama in Tibetan language means the Buddhist priest. So once upon a time, the Buddhist priest might be residing in this area. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami might be heard in this area. And if you visit this area, you will find the springs are there, water bodies are there, and all environment is very conducive for the theological ideas, the philosophical ideas. And that is why this cave was used by the Buddhist monk, and this, according to Gritali Mittal Wallner, is the Buddhist caves. So there are references you will get in Shiroda of Ponda. A copper plate was discovered wherein there is a mention of the Buddhist Vihar. So there were Buddhist Vihar in Goa, Kolwal, Lamgaon, and also in other areas, Rivan in South Goa, also known for the Buddhist site. So this is cave belonging to the Buddhism. Next. Just like Buddhism, in Goa also we have the tradition of Jainism. So today you know that there are Jains in, but they migrated from Maharashtra, Karnataka, Rajasthan, and they are residing in Goa. But before their coming into Goa, in Goa there was a Jainist tradition. This tradition might be established when the Chandragupta Maurya, after giving away everything, when he became the monk, he went to South India. So while going to South India, there is possibility that the Jainism reached to Goa, and the Goa was connected to Gujarat, and there is one area in Kudne. Today the people call this area as Gujir area. Gujir area, why? Because once upon a time there was a Gujarati settlement. So you can see this Gujarati temple, that is the temple of the Jain, and this temple belonging to the Pashvana. This was the sculpture which was found in 24 Tirthankaras are there, and it was found in Shankhwal or the Sankhwal village of the South Goa near to Murgaon or Marma. Then middle was a sculpture of the Supashwanath. You can see 7 hooded cobra is there. So Supashwanath is the 22nd Tirthankar of Jainism. Tirthankar means one who showed the path of the truth in Jainism. So this sculpture today is in the State Museum. I requested the person who found it to donate it to the museum. So now it is in the museum. And the last sculpture is found in Pilerne village, in a village called Korgaon. So that is of the Kulenas. So in Goa you visit the temple of Morzai in Morji, or you go to the places like Kamaleshwar temple in Korgaon. There you will find the worship of the Jainis entirety still goes on. The people call it Jain Brahman. So there is possibility that afterward this Jainist guru accepted Hinduism and became the part of the Hindu culture and religion, but still you will find this sculpture in Goa telling us the history of the Jains. One of the popular king who ruled Goa, the Kadamba Transport Corporation buses. So the Kadamba Transport Corporation buses tells us about the history of Goa. Goa was ruled by different dynasties like Abhir, Trakutak, Batpura, Kalchuri, Konkan Maurya, Badami Chalukya, Bahamanis, then the Vijayanagar, and finally the coming of Portuguese, and today we have Swarajya. But if you go to some places like Uge in Sange Taluka, you will find the complex of Siddheshwar temple, and inside this Siddheshwar temple there is one shrine belonging to the Hemar Dev. So who is this Hemar Dev? Hemar Dev means Shiva Chitta Permadi Dev. So during the Kadamba period, Goa had two capital cities. One was Goa Vella, what you call during olden time was a Gopakapattam or Goapuri, and the second capital city of Goa during the same period, which was administered by Vishnu Chitta, was Halshi. Halshi is a part of Karnataka today, and if you want to go to Halshi, then go to Khanapur, and from Khanapur it is 20 kilometers is Halshi. So Halshi during olden time was known as a Palasika. Why it was called Palasika? Because the village was full with the Bhutia monasperma. So Bhutia monasperma means the Palash tree. The Palash tree bears the saffron color flowers, and they say these flowers are very beautiful, and once upon a time human beings used the flowers for different type of the purposes. So even today if you visit the place during the month of the March or April, you will find there trees of the Bhutia monasperma, the Palash tree. So this is the Uge village where you will find the chhatra is there, umbrella is there on the head of the king, and the person is there holding the umbrella. So before going to Karnataka, there is a Digi Ghat. So Digi Ghat is a place from where the second biggest river of Goa, the longest river of Goa, 115 kilometers long, Zuari, originates in Digi Ghat. From Digi Ghat it comes to Sange and then goes to the Arabian Sea near Vasco or Murgaon. It meets to the Arabian Sea. So Digi Ghat is a gateways to the Karnataka during olden times. So even today, if you take the four-wheel drive, you can go from Uge to Karwar, but before going you have to take the permission from the principal chief conservator of the forest of Goa, because today it has been declared into wildlife sanctuary. So one more slide is there. Okay, next. In Dharbandada Taluka, there is a temple situated on the bank of the river Ragado. So river Ragado is a tributary of river Mandavi. So it originates in the Karnataka in a place called Karambole, and in Karambole the village the waterfall jump from the big height, and one can see the beautiful waterfall. So then the river comes down, and on the bank of the river you will find this beautiful temple. So today Archaeological Survey of India 4 years ago carried out the repair. So this repair was conducted without understanding the history and heritage, and the cement was used for it. It was a monolithic temple. Monolithic means the temple built by using only one stone. And such a beautiful temple you also can see in Aurangabad. The Kailashnath temple was built by using only one stone. So there are people who used to say that these stones were brought from the Karnataka, but this is not true. If you come with me, you can see such huge stone in Goa. very big stones are there in Dharbandora Taluka on the border of the Karnataka. So this temple, if you want to study the biodiversity of Goa, environment of Goa, this temple is a beautiful temple example. And you can see on the one pillar the elephant crushing the deer. Then you can see the petal designs on the top. You can see the Brahma, Gajalakshmi. All these panels tells you about how human being related with the nature and environment. Next. So most of the gateways or the ghat regions, people install the images of the deity. So this was, the temple of Gopinath. Gopinath temple is there in Neturli village, and Budbudachi Thali is there. So this is the old idol of Gopinath. You will find that there are different theories. There are some people say the Goa got named because of the cow, Goa, but it is not true. The Goa actually in Sanskrit means the areca, and Goa, if you go to Sange, Sattari, Dharbandora, these are the areas where the first settlement began in Goa. You will find the areca nuts. So areca nuts in Goa have lot of importance, and we have 3 places in India. One is in Maharashtra called Guhagar, where you will find the areca nut, and the third place is in the northeast part of India, in Assam, Guwahati, a team in the market where the areca nuts were brought and sold. And even today, if you go to Guwahati, you will find how areca nut plays very significant role in the life of the human being. So here you will find a Gopinath idol is there, and Gopinath is worshipped along with the cattle. Downward you will find the cattle are there. This is the old sculpture. Today it has been shifted to the Museum of Archaeology in Goa. Then this is the stone, which is a biggest stone of Goa, and this stone actually is called Telko Guno. I don't know whether Telko company has derived the name from this stone, but people call this Telko Guno because if you stand or sit on the top of the stone, you can get a good view of the Sattari Taluka and Dharbandora Taluka. It is very huge stone, and I got some traces of the prehistoric man in this area. While going to Rivan, on the way there is a Gokarna Parthaga mutt is there. So 100 meter away from this mutt, you will find thick vegetation, and inside this thick vegetation I got the graveyard. So this graveyard, inside the graveyard there was a tombstone. So this tombstone belonging to the Iron Age, the third slide, Iron Age, and the fourth slide tells you about the Hanuman, the Maruti worshipped in Goa. So this is a typical 5-headed Hanuman. And you can see this sculpture in Taide village in Tamdisulla. So it was also a ghatway used during olden time. And the last is, if you cross the Ragado river, you reach the place where the Betals are worshipped, Agyo and Gorkha Betal. So the Betal worship tradition has a linkage with the trade and commerce. And in Chopde, for example, you can see the beautiful temple of the Beta, and he is considered as the lord of the ports in Goa. So even the people want to do the offering in Mumbai, so they will come to the Chopde and offer. So this is inside the Tamdisulla jungle in a place called Boriale, where you can see this temple of the Betal is there. When in the past, people were making use of the country canal. In this museum also you might have seen the country canal. So the country canal was used by the human being in a ghat region. So people coming from the ghat areas, they were taking the boat and then entering the Goa. So today if you come to my Sattari Taluka, there you will find the river is not much navigable, but during olden time this river was navigable, and these are the stone sculptures I discovered in this area. So you get the first stone panel from the Dhamse village of Sattari Taluka, the second from the Guleli village, then third is from the Mavshi in Valpai, 3 kilometers away from Valpai, and the middle one is from the place called Bironda. So inside the sacred grove, you can see, if you see the properly the sculpture, you can get the idea about how people were using the country kanai. So different type of this is Bhuipal, last one, then the middle one is from the Ganje, Usgaon, and the last one is from the Savarde village of the Sattari. There are two Savarde in Goa. Savarde got name mainly because Goan people were familiar with the environment, and they give name to their places on the basis of the tree. For we have the two places named after Bombek Saiba. So in local language, people call Bombek Saiba as a Savar. So Savarde is a place which was once upon a time full with the Bombek Saiba. So that is why even today, if you go there, you will find the worship of the Ashtabhuja deity, the 16-handed goddess. So sitting inside the country kanai. So she is also called as a Tarini. So the 3 idols were discovered by Dr. Vitthal Mitragotre, and the rest of the idols were discovered by me along with my team of the Vivekananda Puratattva Abhyas Mandal in various parts of the Sattari. Next. Along with the well-known climatologist of Goa, Dr. Raju Nigam, and then the Dr. A.S. Gaur, the head of the Marine Archaeology Department of the NIO, we went to Gopakapattam. You know, the Gopakapattam was the earlier capital city of Goa. The Goa had first important capital city was Chandrapur. So during the carnival, on the second day, if you go to the Kaudi village and the Chandur village, there you will find in the during the night time the pastel dance is there. Musra Khe, Fulyan Khe Vita Musranso, Fatlan Soso Tisranso, Illili Sangshit Andrachi, Tatun Saibin Baslet Chandrachi. So the folk song used tells you that once upon a time, you know, this area was dominated by the Yadavas, Kadambas, and if you go today, today it is a Christianized village, but once upon a time it was the village where, you know, the Chaddo or the warrior people were residing there, and even after conversion, the people maintain their linkages with their old culture and tradition. The pastel dance tells you about their history and heritage. So afterward, you know, when the MSU siltation was there, main reason for siltation was the felling of the trees on the Chandranath hill. So this resulted during the rainy season, the water brought the silt, and the silt got accumulated in the river Kushavati, and because of this Kushavati river lost its navigability, and finally the Kadamba had to shift their capital in the 11th century to Gopakapattam. So the new capital city was established. If you go there, you will find these remnants. So how, you know, the fortification was built, and if you study it properly, you can discover this area, and a lot of things, history today is on the verge of extinction. So along with the ASI and NIOS people, we are conducting further studies in this direction. In Goa, you know, every area in India possesses their art form. So in Maharashtra, the tribal Warli, they have their paintings. If you go to Bihar, Madhubani painting is there. In Goa also, people were artisans, they were craftsmen, and they were painters. And if you go to some areas, even today, you will find traces of the Kavi Kala or the Geru. You know, the Geru colors, the natural colors were used for painting the temples. So this is the temple in Bicholim Taluka in a village called Adwalpal. So red oxide is used for painting this temple. Goa, before they embraced the Islam religion. So Arabs were there, and there is one area in Pernem Taluka. Today it is called as Arabo. So Arabo tells you about the Arab settlement, and because of the Arab, you know, the horses came to India, and horses were brought in Goa, and from Goa they went to the different areas in the Ghat region. So this is in Bicholim Taluka. If you go you will find this mosque. And this mosque is very important because this is a Muslim mosque owned by not Muslim community but owned by the Hindu community. So this mosque is the property of the Siddheshwar temple of Sulla village. During the Shigmo festival, the Hindu people come and conclude their Shigmo festival, the celebration of the Holi. They will conclude while visiting this mosque and they will sing Chala jau piracha bhetek pira bhetala ardhe vatik. So they will recite this song, folk song, and you will find this beautiful mosque. It was built in 1540. So such type of the mosque and the masonry tanks were there in Goa in different places. One you can see in Punda, Safa Shahpuri Masjid is there. So this is inside Bicholim Taluka in a village called Surula. Then the second one is downward is the graveyard, tombstone. This tombstone is very important because Ghodemani from Poriye village. Ghodemani is another effigy of the horse is made and the dance is enacted. And this dance is called a Ghodemani. So before making entry into Sakri town, the Ghodemani of Pariye will first go to the Muslim shrine, and there the Muzawar community will come and offer garland to the Hindu Ghodemani. You can see how communal harmony exists in Goa. And this is the third example, in Goa. This is the only specimen of the Mughal architecture. If you look at this mosque, you get the replica of the Taj Mahal, the dome, minarets. All this is the signs of the Persian art and architecture. So Persian art and architecture came to Goa because of the Mughals. So this is only existing example of the Mughal architecture in Goa. So you can see dome, minaret, and the downward is the village town of the Bicholim. So people call it Nimuzgo. So this was built during the period of Sambhaji. When he was there in Bicholim Taluka, along with him Akbar II, the son of Aurangzeb, was there. So for son of Aurangzeb, Sambhaji allowed the construction of this mosque. And the last shrine is in the property of the Shetty, the Hindu community, and shrine belonging to the Muslim. And almost 5 or 6 trees are protected in the name of the Pir. So in Goa we have the tradition of worshipping pious saint. So there are villages in Goa like Pirwal, which tells you about the once upon a time the tradition of worshipping Pir was there. Wherever the worship of Pir was not there, people call the village as Pirna. So in Bardesh you have the Pirna. In Sattari Taluka there is a village called Pirye is there. Today we call it as Poriye. So all this tells you about the worship of the Pir or the pious saint in Islam. So this saint emphasize, the Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti Dargah is there in Rajasthan. So Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti was responsible for communal harmony. In the same way, this pious saint in Islam, they encourage the Hindu and Muslim unity. Before coming of Portuguese in Goa there were the churches were there. When Vasco da Gama came to Kerala, and then when Alfonso Albuquerque came to Goa, he found in various parts of the southern India the worship of the cross is there. So in Pilar there is one father got the Pehlivi inscription on the cross. So this considered as a holy cross which is there in Goa before coming of Christianity in Europe. So this tells you about the Christianity is there in Goa before coming of the Portuguese. So the Basilica of Bom Jesus Church is there. Downward you can see Basilica of Bom Jesus is a beautiful example of the architecture. And when you go in the direction of the Margao, you will find this church, which actually gives you idea about the southern Indian architecture. So then holy church from Margao is there. So before the church was existing there was a sun temple. So the sun was worshipped in Goa at various places. The two prominent temples were there in Goa. One was in Margao. The idol, the sculpture of the sun is still protected in the Archaeological Survey of India's museum in Old Goa. And Kudne also was worshipping sun, and the sun temple was demolished by Aurangzeb when he came to Goa in 1680, around 86. Then fourth church is very important, and you should visit this church, because this church belonging to the patron saint of the ecology in Christianity, Assisi of Francis, and whatever painting, carving there tells you to accord protection to the floral and faunal wealth of the land. So the saint throughout the life propagate the message of protecting environment and ecology. In the month of the August, Hindu people celebrate the Shravan, the holy month, and the Christian celebrate the different types of the fairs and festivals. So there is a place called Santan Bhati. So in Santan Bhati, if you go, you will find Our Lady is there. Before Our Lady, the newly married couple will stand and pray to the Our Lady to bestow on them the child, male child. And when the male child is born, next year they will come and offer a cucumber. So this is called Taushachi fast, wherein Hindu and Christian and Muslim people take part. So during olden time there was a temple of Sater. So many times Sater is considered as a goddess of the Santan. Santan means child blessing. So today the area is called Saint Anne. So a lot of transformation is there, and you can see cucumbers have been offered by the people to the Our Lady. In Sattari Taluka, if you visit some of the areas, you will find a crocenda flowers are used. Crocendas are, very beautiful flowers, and there are people in Goa who want this flower to be accorded the status of the state flowers. So aboli, what you call, is a they don't have the scent, fragrance, but the color is very beautiful, and that is why people want them to be given the status of the state flowers. So during Shigmo festival, the men dress as a woman and they are worshipped as a, this tells you about the tradition of the warrior. The warrior died and their wives jumped into burning fire. So still in their memory, people continued the worship of this holy woman in there. And then downward is, in Goa we have the pastoral community. Many a time wrongly people written history of the Goa. For example, Ramesh Bhandari described these people as a shepherd. In Goa, go to any part, Pernem to Kankon, you will not going to see any shepherd. You will find the people called Dhangar, and they are herders of the buffaloes, and there are hundreds of songs. For example, Khadakacha Pani na Dongar sa Pala, De Dada De Rajala Masade. So their song refers to the buffaloes. So they are buffalo herders, and these are the the Padimal in Kepe Taluk on the border of the Kankon. You will find the Dhangar community taking part into the Shigmo festival. Before the Shigmo festival starts on the day of the full moon day in Falgun, 15 days ago, the tribal wave will go on the top of the mountain and celebrate the Shigmo festival, and their Shigmo festival will conclude on the day of the full moon day. So in the northern part of the Goa, the Shigmo festival will start right from the full moon days, whereas the tribal festival concludes on the day of the full moon day. Next. So in Goa there was a pastoral peoples were there, and during the Diwali festival there is Dhenlo Pavsko Shanlo. So people afterward worshipping this, they think that rain will go and they will concentrate on their autumn agriculture. So before beginning the agriculture season, of autumn, people prefer to worship the Lord Sri Krishna. And then during these days, if you go in the villages of Goa, you will find Kalo tradition, wherein the people mean the Lord Vishnu, a person will acted as Lord Vishnu, and then the demon Shankasur, their battle is shown, and then the drama is performed. So if you go during these days in any villages in Goa, most of the villages celebrate the Kalo festival. So we have different type of the Kalos. So this tells you about the how people related with the culture and religion. Next. So even after conversion, the Christian Gauda people maintain their old tradition. So lot of pressure is there. And if you go to the Ambavli village in Kepe Taluka or any Kotambi village, there you will find a Christian community maintain their linkages with their old culture. So their song, for example, the song of Kunbi woman in Kepe Taluka, they refers to the Lord Sri Krishna. So even after conversion, just like Indonesia, the by religion Indonesia is a Muslim country, but still you will find the Ramayana and Mahabharata is respected by them with a great honor. So here you will find a Mahadale or Ghumat, earthen pot is used, and the monitor lizard skin, the Schedule 1 animal, as per the Wildlife Act of India 1972, it is a crime to kill the animal, but people during olden times were making use of the skin, but today there is alternative. One can opt for the skin of the she-goat. You can replace it by the she-goat skin. So if we want to maintain our tradition, we can shift to the she-goat skin. So monitor lizard skin using is illegal, and we have to stop it. So this is the the Kunbi dance. Whatever Kunbi dance perform in Goa, it is the creation of Raj Kapoor. In Raj Kapoor, in a Bobby film, showed some of the Goa's folk dance, and people for the making the film popular, he used his creativity, and same today became the folk dance of Goa. The real folk dance of Goa is you will find in the Kunbi community, wherein the women participate in it. The Gauda community, Gauda, Kunbi and Virib, these are the three tribals, the scheduled tribals in Goa. So the Gauda communities are there in Tiswadi, Bardes, Salsed and Pune Taluka. So they perform this dance in their folk drama called Zagor. So Zagor is performed during the midnight, and the whole night they will bring the different types of the acts and entertain the people about the culture. Next. In Sattari Taluka, there is a tradition of the folk drama called Ranmale. Ranmale means during olden time, the battle was fought, and people, the aboriginal people, the original settlers were killed. How these people were killed? They were invited, and liquor was offered to them, and the warrior community killed them. So in their memory, the people think that if you continue, then the wrath will be there. So that is why, in order to satisfy their spirit, people started celebrating Ranmale, the folk drama. So the tradition is there in Sattari Taluka, wherein people will perform first the act of the Ganpati, and then the different types of the scenes are enacted. So this is the part and parcel of the Holi festival, the Shigmo festival in Goa. So beautiful folk drama festival goes on, tells you about how people were related with the environment and the cultural heritage. So during olden time, today we all want the finest thing, cleanest thing. But during olden time, the people were using the grindstone for converting grain into flours. And they were using this grindstone and singing the beautiful folk song, and the bamboo was used as a mat. Today we are using the plastic. So touch of the bamboo mat was totally different. Downward you will find the barkal. Barkal was made from the cane, wherein the leaves of the Bhutia monospermas were used to envelop it, and people, in order to keep the salt, the common salt, for 3 years, were using it. Today we are using the plastic, and the plastic and the common salt, the sodium chloride, it reacts, it is hygroscopic, so people were aware about it, so that is why they created such type of the structure where you can keep the salt intact. Then the third one is the example of why, during olden time, people to knead the floor, people were using the wooden plank of the jackfruit for preparing bhakri, the cake. But during olden time, this also was used as a musical instrument. So people were inverting it, putting it in the opposite direction, and then they were using the spoon, the coconut ball spoon, and they will make the sound and they will sing the song. Davle manisa vajapa amcho gunobal baslo makrata. Then this is the pastel, the musal. During the olden time, for pounding grain, people were making use. Then the mapsa, for example, got the name because of the, not because of the Mahapishe people, mad people, got the name because of the unit of measurement. Map means unit of measurement. So this is unit of measurement used during olden time. Today we are using kilogram, liters, but during olden time the people were using such type of the instrument, and even today you will find this unit of measurement is in use. Then the second last slide tells you about the sickle. During olden time, bhenak banli akdi and gelo ranan. So in order to go to the forest, people were carrying the sickles, and whenever any wild bushes making trouble to them while walking, they were cutting it. So that sickle was of a great use, and fishing was one of the important occupation in Goa. Today, we are familiar with the seafood, but in the interior areas of Goa, people were using this type of the nest for catching snake. So it is the fishing gear made from the bamboo. So this is in the Karanjol village of the Sattari Taluka, where the children are going for catching fish. There are politicians in Goa who says that tigers are not there in Goa. Our former Chief Minister of Goa, Pratap Singh Rane, when in 2009 the tiger was killed, he said this tiger are just like the tourists. Just tourists comes from various parts of India. Tigers are also coming to Goa. So in 2009 when tiger was killed, I said this tiger was from Goa. The government was telling the tiger, the bones and other things were brought by Mr. Rajendra Kerkar and planted there in this area. Finally, these bones were sent to the Indian Institute of Forestry in Dehradun, where it was confirmed the killed animal was tiger, and the tiger was from the same area. Then when the new government came to the power, I requested the Chief Minister, please put the camera trap, and as per my request, the camera trap was put, and April 2013, the first picture of the existence of tigers in Goa was got. The Sattari and the Western Ghat of Goa is known for the largest venomous snake of India. The largest venomous snakes, you can see 30 feet long king cobra. 3 king cobras were caught by Amrit Singh in the same area. Remember, king cobras, if you get the bite of the king cobra, just 20 minutes enough for the human being to die, and no anti-venom is available in Goa Medical College or in any medical institute of India. So death is certain for the man if you get the bite of the king cobra. The Romulus Whittaker, the world famous herpetologist, came specially Goa to study the king cobra. So these are called the king cobra. Really they are not cobras, they are different species, and for cobra you have the anti-venom. For this king cobra is called Hemandrial. So there is no anti-venom is available, and it is the only snakes build its nest, whereas most of the snakes, they prefer to live in the hollow crevices used by other animals. So next. So olive ridley turtles are the part and parcel, but today if you go to Morji, their condition is very serious. Galji Bagh was known for this olive ridley turtle. Huge olive ridley turtles were coming to Goa for laying eggs, but today the tourism which has been promoted without planning and vision is responsible for creating problem for the olive ridley turtles. So just like Gahir Matha in Odisha, was famous for the turtle. In Goa also, Goan beaches were famous for olive turtles. The state animal of Goa, the condition of the state animal of Goa is very critical. You know, the 13 bisons were killed by using electric fencing in Darbandod area. So, you know, their bones were removed, and finally the case was lodged, and it is going on. The culprit were imprisoned. So this is the sorry states of the state animal of Goa. In my village, for example, one bison was fallen into the water chamber. So we removed it along with the help of the Paresh Parab, and it was finally released in the jungle. So the situation is very worse, and the people now fighting. Lot of horticulturists, agriculturists want animal to be declared as a vermin. So there are people coming forward, and the Goa government has also made a proposal of declaring wild boar as a vermin. But people also want the peacock, the bison, and other animal to be declared as a vermin. So I don't know. We are going in the direction of Louis XIV, who used to say, "I am the state and whole and soul." So this state will give topmost priority to the voting machine, because we all are voters, and these animals are not the voters. We are very fortunate in India, because there was a person called Mahatma Gandhi, who he used to say that everything is there with us, but not to satisfy your greed. So if you follow the philosophy of Gandhiji, we can transform India. Today we are exploiting natural resources. We don't have the vision, and if this continues, then we all will face a lot of problems. So that is why it is high time for all of us to think with the Gandhian philosophy. You know, the Gandhiji lived a very healthy life, and what was the secret of his healthy life? He was continuously drinking the milk of the goat. We are not drinking the milk of the goat, and nowhere you will get the milk of the goat. Got it, no? So in Goa, it is very few areas are there. If you go to Dhangar hamlet, you will get the milk of the goat, but you people will not going to drink it, because it has the smell of the leaves. The herbivorous smell is there. So that is why you will prefer to drink the milk which is processed and live with the different types of the diseases and ailments. So this is a fresh milk the Gandhiji was using, and that is why Gandhiji was enjoying good health. So we have to think of our eco-cultural heritage which we inherited, and that is why people in Goa were living very healthy and happy life. When I met Bholu Doifode, who died at the age of 110, what is the secret of your such a long span life? He told me, I was eating the vegetable of Kasiatora, Taikhalo, and drinking the water from the spring, and that is the secret of my life. Today, what is the secret of our life? The packed bottle water, the coffee, tea, everything processed food, and a massive amount of the sugar we are accumulating in our body, and we are very much afraid about the cholesterol. For example, Goa is the state, or the Konkan is the areas where, you know, people give us cholesterol-free oil. Garcica indica, the kokum, for example, the seed oil is the cholesterol-free oil. Whatever oil today we are using, it is full with the cholesterol, and we are facing a lot of problems, right from diabetes, hypertension, and whatnot. So if we want to live a healthy life, then we have to think about the eco-cultural heritage which we are inheriting from our fathers. So I am very much thankful to Dr. Subodh Kerkar and staff and members of this very beautifully established museum, and you people for remaining present and listening my talks. So thank you very much.